Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Knight's Angel, and this is just a folf on the road. Well, everybody else seems to have had their say on the matter, so might as well put my 2 cents in. Well, honestly, I think it's about time for that talk. Alright. Most furries have had to deal with the whole perverted aspect of it. Okay, let me rephrase that. A lot of furries have had to deal with people talking about the fandom being nothing but perversion. Now, it's like anything else in life. There's always something dirty. But that's one of the things. It's when you actually sit there and make public reference of it. Now, I'm all for being provocative and showing your tastes. But at the same point in time, there's a time and place for everything. And honestly, just think about what you're doing. I mean, I am not shunning anyone. Okay, maybe a few, but it's not the idea that I'm calling anyone out in particular. No. I'm not going to sit there and argue about semantics because, let's face it, a number of my works are of an adult nature. And yeah, I'd hate to see them taken down. Which is why I'm actually careful about it. I make sure everything's documented properly. I make sure that if it's not something that can be shown publicly, well, I don't make it public. It's just a matter of be mindful of what's going on around you. Okay. It's pretty much when being provocative turns to being perverse. That's what causes the issues. And a lot of people seem to forget that. And, well, quite frankly, that's what causes a lot of problems. I'm not telling anybody they can't do what they want. Because God knows they're going to do it anyway. Regardless of what's going on. My screen is covered with raindrops. Pardon me a moment. Yeah, that did not help any. But all the same, I just ask people to be mindful of what they do. I mean, if you can discuss something in a mature manner, then yeah, it's more than welcome. And yeah, there is a time and place to be childish about it. But at the same point in time, don't just sit there and do something that's going to bring everybody else down. Because that's just mean. It's mean and selfish. I mean, it shows how much respect you have for other people when you do things like that. And that's one of the things that actually irks me. I mean, this is not sponsored, by the way. This is just one of those things. I was scrolling through Furry Mina last night, and I saw something I didn't like. It's not something that should be posted on an app, on a social app like that, because there are users who are as young as 12. That's not something they should be seeing right off of the bat. And it can lead to a lot of problems. That's why I'm distinguishing the difference between being provocative and being perverted. Because there is a difference between them. It's the severity. Because you can be provocative and not go into dangerous territory. But you can also, but at the same point in time, if you're not careful, that's exactly where you go. And I did the honest thing. I reported it. Why? Not because I'm against it, but because it was inappropriate for that location. Like I said, I'm a writer, and some of my work is of a mature content. Now, the last thing I want is for somebody to flag my material when it's pretty much, I don't want somebody to flag my material just because there's something, just because they disagree with it. But at the same point in time, I am making sure I'm doing the right thing by making sure I put it under the right category. If it's adult content, I put it under adult content. But I'm going to defend my work, regardless of what it is, because I'm doing it the right way. But when you post something of an adult nature on a social media device or app or what have you, and you don't take any consideration about who's going to see it, this shows a lot about you. I mean, how many people would actually want to sit there and aren't interested in seeing anything of an adult nature, and the first thing they see is adult content? Yeah, they could use the filters, but at that point, whether or not they filter it is on them. But when you don't have that kind of filter on the system, we have to be self-censoring. We have to pay attention to what we're doing. Otherwise, we're going to make ourselves look bad. And it's just going to take the right person to take that and use it against us. So, yeah. Oh, I got the light. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. My apologies. Anyway, how's that? Headphones are tangled up in my sunglasses. But anyway. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. You're welcome to do what you want. Just be mindful of the people around you. Things you do have consequences, even if you don't see them. Somebody else will. And that somebody else might get punished for your doing. But at the same point in time, you don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get. Yeah, I'm not going to go into details about that whole thing, because I did what I thought was right. And no, I'm not just justifying my own actions. But after seeing that, I thought I would talk about it, because it's a social media app. It doesn't have filters. It doesn't have the same kind of filters as other apps. We've got to monitor ourselves. I mean, the biggest thing any of us can do, furry or not furry, is pay attention to what we're doing. Yeah, there's a time and place for everything, and some things should not be made public. Am I saying that pretty much what I'm saying is be mindful of your own actions. You don't have to change who you are. Just pay attention to what you're doing. Because everything has a consequence, good or bad. I just don't want the wrong person having to deal with the wrong consequence. So, that's all I've got to say on the matter before I just ramble on here, which is pretty much what I do. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Share your thoughts, ideas, what have you. I think my camera's going. There we go. Had water on the lens. Go ahead, share your thoughts. Agree, disagree, what have you. Please don't fight. Honest discussion is one thing, but please don't fight. And, well, like, comment, subscribe, share, what have you. The whole shebang. I'm Night's Angel. This has been just a folf on the road. I hope you have a better day. Peace.